pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Mr. Turner.
Commissioner Meeks.
Present.
Commissioner Eichmeyer.
Here.
Commissioner Dolger.
Here.
Commissioner Zimmerman.
Here.
Mayor Judge.
Here. Need approval of minutes of meeting held on February 7th of 2022. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Turner.
Commissioner Meeks.
Yes.
Commissioner Eichmeyer.
Yes.
Commissioner Dolger.
Yes.
Commissioner Zimmerman.
Yes.
All right. There you go. All right. This evening, under visitors, State Representative David Severns is here. If you want to go ahead.
Sure. I'll step over here. As a politician, you never want your back to anybody. You understand?
Yeah.
I appreciate the opportunity to be here this evening, and riding along, my sidekick this evening is Larry Miller, who's actually the Farm Bureau Director. Is that your title, sir? I've known him forever, but never called him director, but he's actually over the Farm Bureau for these counties, and so there's a Farm Bureau meeting this evening also, so kind of getting two birds with one stone. Wanted to come up and meet all of you in the city council, and of course I'm a state representative now, and I live in Benton, lived there my entire life, and our office is in Marion, and with the remapping every 10 years, now this is part of the district that I'm running for re-election for, so appreciate the opportunity to come and meet everyone and let you know how serious I am about serving, and if I'm successfully elected, you'll see more of me than you ever thought you would. So my whole life has been serving people. I won't give you the whole story, as there's not enough time, but again, appreciate the opportunity to be here this evening and meet each one of you and let you know how serious I am about serving as a representative, and there's a lot going on in the state. I'll say one thing, then I'll sit down, Joe, is that serving in the House of Representatives in the Jude Crim Committee, I'm the senior representative in that committee, and the defunding of police, all the 3653 bill and all the different crazy things going on, that's actually in the committee that I'm working my tail off to fight those things. And so I could tell you all the different things going on. We're back in session actually tomorrow at noon, but there's work to be done, and we just standing up for the beliefs of everybody in this room. So I'll sit down because I'm a preacher's kid, even though I'm 63, and I love to talk. So thank you for the opportunity to come before you, and again, look forward to working with each one of you and finding out who you are, finding out who I am, and you'll find that I'm 63, but I got the energy of a 20-year-old, and I love doing what I'm doing. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And I will comment, I've been in contact now with David, since December.
Yes, sir.
And, he's been in regular communication with me on a lot of stuff that's happening up in Springfield, and, it's been nice. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, I want to welcome everybody. Weather is shaping up for more rain, so please make sure your storm grates out in front are free of any debris. We've had the street department go around today with public works workers, and they've cleaned them out, but there's still a lot of debris out there in the gutters, and if you see one clogged up in front of your home, please do a nice thing for yourself and the neighbor and get it unclogged. Not sure how much rain we're going to get, but it beats snow and ice. So anyway, also want to announce the ACES scholarship forms will be going out to the high school later this week. Just a reminder, the scholarship is made possible through revenues from the gambling taxes the city of Mount Carmel collects, and we are investing in 2 local students with this fund in the amount of $750 per scholarship. I've provided everybody a packet. Tonight I'm asking for the city council to approve the redevelopment of a plot of land out by the former Shopco, which is now the Motorrad building. With my day-to-day job, my real job, I travel all over the Midwest, and I was down in Paducah, Kentucky late last week, and I noticed that there was a whole bunch of food trucks set up, and investigated it in the city of Paducah, and I've also researched it a little bit more, and other communities have set up what they call a food truck park. And was speaking with a lot of the local food truck owners, they were really ecstatic with the opportunity for the city to develop this. Basically, we would develop an area out there with basically a gravel loop and provide up to 5 different spaces. Have a couple 50 amp locations for the food trucks and a couple 20 set up. And then what we'd be able to do is register these food trucks with the city to be able to park and charge a small fee. And hopefully I can get them.
Provide electric, water.
No, just electric. That's all they want. Was talking with Dylan and Brandon both. They said that they just needed water, or the electrical. Because a lot of their stuff is already pre-made. Dylan's is a little bit different than Brandon's, but their trailers have, 50 to 70 gallons, kind of like your RV does,
Yeah.
of fresh water.
Okay.
And so they really didn't see a need for water hookups.
Okay.
So they just,
It's right there. I just
yeah,
wondered.
yeah, it is right there.
Is that something we could develop for later in case somebody does need it? Or to
Yes,
expand
yeah,
it?
we can redevelop it to whatever. We purchased it originally, one, to be able to widen the mouth out there at Great House Creek, and also get the debris out. But our hopes were to lure a retail store to the Shopco, the former Shopco building. We're happy Motorrad went in there, but they had no use for that property. And was speaking with Larry Woody, who owns the Dollar General. At this point, he has no forward projects to expand the Dollar General building any further north. So just an opportunity for us to create a little bit of homegrown economic development.
I think it's a great idea. It doesn't just work for small cities. I ran into one down in Orlando.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, what's nice is we can put some signage up and stuff, and also it gives them a home to, come in and set up their food trucks. And also, Motorrad, they were ecstatic that a place to get the food for their employees when the food trucks set up. So anyways, if I have a motion to move forward on working with Mr. Turner and Mr. Gidcombe on that redevelopment.
I'll make it.
All right, do I have a second? Roll call, Mr. Turner.
Commissioner Meeks.
Yes.
Commissioner Eichmeyer.
Yes.
Commissioner Dolger.
yes.
Commissioner Zimmerman.
Yes.
All right. That is up for me. Commissioner Meeks.
Back on the 4th, we had a big snow and ice storm, so street department has been really busy. I'll just hit some high points here. They plowed and salted the roads, repaired the equipment. Every time you have a snowstorm, you're going to tear up a few items. Most of them are small problems, but spent some time repairing those broken parts, removed piles of snow from Market Street 3 or 4 different times. We hauled and we continue to haul dirt from the brush harbor to the old Snap-on property. We're trying to get some stuff leveled up and maybe actually a little bit of good topsoil down there. We're in the process of training all of our employees on the backhoe and mini excavator, kind of make everybody more efficient. Continue working on the public works building, clean storm sewers, as the mayor mentioned, and today we installed the floodgates, so we're ready for the Wabash. And that's the end of my report, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Meeks. One thing Commissioner Meeks didn't say, which he probably doesn't know, me and Mr. Turner went to Chicago last Tuesday. Thank goodness we chose Tuesday to go versus Thursday. And we did complete the purchase of the Elgin street sweeper that council gave approval for. And it's a very nice unit, and it's on its way to us. Hopefully, it'll be here any time. What's one thing that we did find out that was really nice is that since we kept with the Elgin product, our Elgin Pelican, that is 30 some odd years old, its brushes will mount to the new one that we got. So all of our inventory that we have on brushes and everything, we're not wasting, we're able to use on the new machine. So that is good to know. All right, Commissioner Eichmeyer.
Thank you, Mayor. Let's see, receipts from the past 2 weeks in the general fund, $292,422, bringing us to a balance of $2,151,187. The majority of that was in sales tax, state income tax. Both are, well, sales tax is almost above budget for the year, and state income tax is now 30,000 or 40,000 above budget. Had a little utility tax, state use tax, and then the rest was in building permits and some miscellaneous items. That takes us to $3,188,496 on our revenue budget, budget of $2,944,700, and we've got 2 months to go in the fiscal year. So everything continues to be moving along well. Even though I know we've had some extra expenses this year that weren't planned, so that'll offset some of that, and we're in good shape. So, end of my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Eichmeyer. Commissioner Dogger.
Thank you, Mayor. Water plant, Keith, our water operator, gave a tour today to a bunch of kids from the new Christian Academy that opened this year in town. They're learning about infrastructure, so Keith's always really good about doing that for people that ask. Also, they got a firsthand look of how the water comes in and treatment and how it goes out. So it was pretty neat, I'm sure. All our water testing has been great. We are scheduled for some vibration testing on our pumps, but with the flood coming this week, that may be delayed a little bit. The basins have been cleaned, which is really a pain for Keith and crew, especially this time of year. But with the new water plant, those will all be indoors. Speaking of water plant, we did get approval from the EPA for our loan for the $11 million for the $12 million for the new water plant. As soon as that paper shows up and it's signed, we will schedule a kickoff meeting. Maintenance department, I want to thank the street department today. They got the floodgates up while our maintenance crew was dealing with a sinkhole, which we've had multiple of recently, and just found another one right before the meeting. So that's lovely. I think they're just going to patch that one for now, and then we're going to hit it up once the weather clears. One thing, when we cut through the pipe today on Mulberry Street, needles came out of the sewer, so I would appreciate it if people wouldn't flush their needles down the toilet. I'm not sure what you need to do with them, but don't put them in the toilet. Sewer department, the sump pump was replaced in the yard. Mulberry Lift Station has had a fail. K&M has been contacted and should be here to fix soon. All the ceiling tiles from the leak from that we had after, and then the roof was replaced. Those have all been replaced, so it looks nice down there. And they started the flood pumps. At the next meeting, we will discuss the plans from Terry Boyer and Donahue for the upgrades that our building needs on site. A lot of structural maintenance that needs to be done. So we'll have to decide what we want to do on that. One thing I do need approval for tonight, jet truck, the pump's going bad. It has not been used all that, only 109 hours, I think. They had an issue with that pump, so we can have like $10,000 for a rebuild or $25,000 for a new one. Not a truck, but the pump. I would suggest doing the $25,000 for the new one because they have addressed the concerns with the old pump. I've talked to Tom, Mike talked to Tom. Looks like we can split that 3 ways with sewer, water, street budget, 1/3 each. So if you guys want to have some discussion on that, we can have that. Otherwise, I need a motion in a second.
Can we legally pull it out of streets because that's a general fund versus an enterprise?
It's used in all 3 areas. I'll have to talk and see if we
Yeah, well,
can.
before we agree to that we need to do some research on that because,
We use it for storm sewer.
well, I understand that, but if it's registered as a component of an enterprise, a vehicle
It
directly
is.
for the enterprise, I don't think you can go outside of it to use general fund money for a repair. It's gotta come from, that budget.
So, can we do a contingency approval, because this needs.
Yes, oh, I agree, it needs to be fixed, because we can't do without it, especially in the
Is there a
season we're in.
warranty on the 25,000? Is there no warranty
Oh.
on this? Like, is there warranty?
No, we've had
It's
it,
already passed the warranty.
No, on the new one.
No,
The new
if-
one.
for
Oh,
the,
the new one, there'll be a warranty with it.
right,
as
2
opposed to the
years.
rebuild?
2 years. The rebuild, we've got 105 hours on this, so every 105 hours with this pump, it's gonna end up having another rebuild because of the etching.
If you go with a $10,000 fix.
Correct.
If you go to the $25,000 fix, it's a complete new unit that addresses the etching issues, which is casting basically flaking off into the piston area.
Yeah.
And, so, I agree with Commissioner Dogger, spend the extra money to have longevity.
I'll make a motion to approve it, and we can internally figure out what
Yeah.
departments to bill it through.
Okay.
We got to do it one way or another.
Yep, do I have a second? All right. Roll call, Mr. Turner.
Commissioner Meeks,
I agree, I don't see any reason to throw $10,000 into something that's not gonna last, so I'll go ahead with it, I'm good for it. That's a yes.
all right, Commissioner Eichmeyer,
Yes.
Commissioner Dolder,
Yes.
Commissioner Zimmerman.
Yes.
In my report.
Awesome. Thank you, Commissioner Dogger. Commissioner Zimmerman.
Thank you, Mayor. Been kind of, I'm not gonna say the Q word, but the fire department has been not as busy, the last couple of weeks. Which they've had 4 runs, and they're in their monthly meeting. I said not as busy, I didn't say the Q word. And so, in our last meeting, they went over air packs and we're getting some new air packs that have increased is substantially, in cost. But those are things that the fire department does need to keep up to date, and so we'll be spending the money on those. Hopefully our grants will cover them that that we have applied for. Just a reminder also with your garbage, that to put your totes out, you can put them up 24 hours ahead of pickup time, but they also need to be removed by 24 hours after the date of the pickup. So, don't be leaving your totes out, especially with these rains coming. You know, if they don't get picked up right away, then if you go and just kind of throw your trash in it and keep it out by the street, some of these waters can carry them away, and then the trash gets all in the yards and in the street and makes a huge mess. So just
Especially
make
with
sure.
Republic still not being able to get them back in driveways.
Yeah, there you go. So, and then the brush and recycling site is still continues to be open on Fridays, Saturdays, and Mondays. Into my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Zimmerman. Sorry, I'm laughing because Commissioner Eichmeyer with
Just
his
drives me
dilemma.
nuts.
I mean, it's true. Quarter of my trash was on the ground this morning.
Yeah,
Mine was all, they must like mine. Mine's always.
I was excited.
Our neighborhood's
I got
always
new
weird.
totes.
We don't have that issue on our street,
We didn't have the issue till they went to the one-day thing.
really.
Once
Our
they
guy-
did that, it's
our guy's
been
been
downhill ever since.
all right. Staff reports, Mr. Turner.
Maybe because you have a police.
All right,
vehicle.
have a,
Nope, we have
have
gone
a
by
few
then.
things. The street sweeper is actually here, so Mr. Gitkin, can you go out and sign some paperwork or bring it in?
Yep.
Yeah, the driver's waiting on us.
Oh,
Yeah, it's literally really here.
That's impressive.
That was
Yeah.
the beeping noise in the background. So,
I have that kind of power.
Kiwanis, this is the 100th year for the Kiwanis, and most of us on this board, except for you, Mayor, are in Kiwanis. And we'd like to shut down on July 9th, the park from like 3:30 to around 6 for a fun run. All proceeds will go to programs here in the community. I've talked to Steiny's, and they're good with this, and they're gonna help host. And I've talked to food trucks, or at least one food truck and some sponsors that are willing to sponsor it. But it looks like 3:30 to maybe 6:30, shut it down, and then pickleball. I've talked to Rick Andrews, and they don't have anything on their schedule, so it doesn't conflict with anything going on. So I'd just like to get approval from the council. I mean, do we have any issues with the park being shut down for 3 hours?
No, I don't see any issues. Commissioner Meeks, do you?
I'm good with it.
Okay.
And don't give Joe a hard time about not being on Kiwanis. He's too old.
Yeah. He meant experienced.
And outside of that, it's actually,
Does the cover logo stay on the street sweeper?
No, it came off and we put a Cardinals one on it.
Will it blow off coming down or what?
They lost it.
It looked pretty solid when I saw the picture, so I just wondered if it was still there or if somebody kind of washed it off.
You should have seen the size of the razor blade Mr. Turner had when he was scraping it off.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
all right, that's the end of my report.
She had, do you not need a motion for that?
Not really a motion
No.
for that.
It's just a,
We don't usually do that on the.
Okay.
I said that, but I don't need a motion.
since you're club members, you have to abstain anyway.
Well, that's why
Well,
she was
that's what I said.
asking.
Yeah,
There-
so it's
y'all
just
have to
a,
abstain.
okay. So, all right, Mr. Waldrop is out. Hopefully he'll recover soon. Chief McWilliams.
Business has been steady. Nothing too intense to report to the council. I did get word today that the Explorer will be finished this week,
Awesome.
or first and next at the latest, so just found that out today.
So by April 1st, we should have it.
The way things have went typically is. Outside of that, just business as usual. Everybody's healthy. Things are moving along. Appreciate your support, sir. Especially qualified immunity. And nothing further to report.
Okay. One thing I want to add on Chief McWilliams' report, saw lots of UTVs and golf carts out yesterday in the beautiful weather, probably out more today. Please make sure you have that nice orange 2022 sticker on your golf cart. Doesn't matter when you got your 21, January 1st, you're supposed to have the 2022 on there.
We had an uptick over the weekend. Several people came in and
Yep.
as they're getting them out. And then I seen an individual from out in the county that his vehicle's broke and he's using it to get to work. And he had no idea there was a ordinance, so I sent him Kyle's way. So.
Yeah. Well, I saw several of them out yesterday, and I saw a lot of the orange stickers. So it is bright, and we can visibly see it from the squad cars. So please make sure it's only $50. The fine is $250 for, not having
Very
it.
appreciative to learn the information.
I bet he was. It is a privilege. So thank you, Chief McWilliams. Chief Speth.
The only thing I have, we're still a month left of winter, and if we do get any more snow and stuff, if you have neighbors and family members that's not in very good shape, please take time to clean their sidewalks and stuff. Because we've had several issues trying to get patients in and out of houses with 6, 8 inches of snow, you're low liability, plus you're tracking in their house even though you're not trying to and stuff, so. If you do got a neighbor, her relation, family member is in bad shape, please take time to clean the driveways and sidewalks off in case they have an emergency or something. That's all I have.
Thank you, Chief. All right, Mr. Gidcombe has went out to sign off. Does he pay for that if he signs off on that?
That's why I'm having him go out there, Mayor.
Okay.
He's gonna be paying for it. No, I do need to talk.
About the
go back to
resolution?
The resolution 685, we voted on it. We didn't vote on the resolution number, but we voted back when we decided to look at this particular street sweeper. So I need a motion to pass resolution, or I don't, it's in the consent agenda.
Yes.
However, that's what you're voting on. The loan was for 6 years, and we ended up getting the loan through a local bank. 6 years, 2.3% interest on 169,655. So 169,655, and term of 6 years, and we'll be paying it out of MFT funds.
Yep.
So
And me and Mr. Turner talked to him long enough to get him to drop the delivery charge.
yeah, they thought we were gonna drive it, and I had no interest to drive a street sweeper.
With a max speed of 60 miles an hour.
Yeah,
No thanks.
yeah.
All right, so I need approval of consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
I'll make motion.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Roll call, Mr. Turner.
Commissioner Meeks,
Yes.
Commissioner Eichmeyer.
Yes.
Commissioner Dolger,
Yes.
Commissioner Zimmerman.
All right. If there is no other business we need to address this evening, Mr. James, do you have anything?
No, sir.
All right, appreciate you attending. We will adjourn.
See if Mike needs anything.
Oh, Mike, do you have any report?
If you have a demolition, you need to be sure you get your demo permits. We've had some issues where permits were not gotten, and it's very important because that's how I make sure that public utility has their services disconnected.
Yes.
We're actually gonna be revamping our form to where public utility lets us know when the services have been disconnected and removed before we will issue a permit.
And
But
you
need to
also,
get your permits.
you also need to know, you've got to get that demo permit, because if you don't, then the county will not be notified of the building that got demoed, and so you're gonna continue to pay taxes on that dwelling until you get that permit.
Correct.
So,
But it is a safety issue big time without getting the permits.
plus it's a city ordinance.
That is correct.
So, anyway,
End of my report.
all right, thank you, Mr. Gidcombe. Anybody got anything else? All right. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Opposed, the same sign.
All right, anybody want to see the street sweeper?
Yes. All right, Tom.